All right, welcome to this explainer on the future of commercial wall printing. Look, if you're managing a hospital network, a massive corporate headquarters, or honestly, any high-traffic institution, you already know the drill. Your walls have to look amazing, but they absolutely must be durable. Today, we're cutting through the noise. We're going to give you the data-driven, expert insights you actually need to upgrade your commercial spaces.
We're going to break this whole evolution down into 5 quick areas. First, beyond vinyl and wallpaper. Second, the direct-to-wall difference. Third, zero disruption at scale. Fourth, the ROI of sustainability. And finally, how to truly future-proof your environments.
Let's jump right into Section 1, Beyond Vinyl and Wallpaper.
If you manage facilities, you are definitely familiar with the absolute headaches that legacy wall coverings cause. I mean, we've all seen it, right? Traditional wraps just inevitably bubble after a couple of years. Wallpaper completely fails under humidity and temperature swings, trapping moisture right underneath. Vinyl leaves behind this awful sticky residue, and those hand-painted murals, sure, they look fantastic on day one, but as the building naturally settles, those structural cracks start showing up. Basically, these failure points trap you in this endless, super expensive 5-year replacement cycle that just quietly drains your budget.
And when you really look at the data, the contrast across the major performance metrics is just night and day. Where legacy options give you bubbling adhesives and these dust-collecting seams that take days of prep to install, direct-to-wall technology is completely different. We're talking totally seamless coverage up to 100 feet, no adhesive whatsoever. And the best part? Eliminating all those failure points actually cuts your total 5-year cost by 40 to 50%. That is a massive operational saving.
As the quote says right here, today's commercial decision makers have moved beyond those limitations. As an industry best practice, it is really time to audit your substrate moisture and calculate what your true replacement costs actually are. Honestly, relying on yesterday's peeling graphics is an operational liability, and there is no reason you should be paying a premium for a constant replacement cycle.
Moving on to Section 2, the direct-to-wall difference.
Let's look under the hood at the actual science here. Why does printing directly onto a substrate fundamentally outperform traditional wraps? Well, the secret sauce is molecular bonding. Because there's zero adhesive involved, you completely eliminate those peeling edges and that awful corner bubbling. The pigment literally embeds directly into the drywall or the concrete or the brick. It doesn't just sit delicately on top like a giant sticker. It becomes an integrated physical part of the wall itself.
And the visual fidelity? It is absolutely stunning. We're talking a razor-sharp 600-plus DPI. That preserves photorealistic detail for anything you can think of, from K-12 instructional graphics to high-end fine art museum exhibits. To put that in perspective, at 600 dots per inch, a corporate logo is just as crisp from 6 inches away as a massive landscape photograph is from 10 feet away. No visible dots, no color banding, just pure clarity.
But what's really a game changer here is the architectural scale. By getting rid of those overlapping rolls of vinyl or paper, you get massive, completely seamless murals. Imagine an 80-foot patient wayfinding path in a busy hospital. Zero visual breaks, zero seams to trap dust or moisture. It looks incredible, but more importantly, it completely bypasses the structural failures that plague the older systems.
Okay, Section 3, Zero Disruption, Maximum Scale.
This is what really matters to procurement teams and retail planners, right? Minimizing downtime. Through a super strict 5-step process, a single wall install literally takes under 5 hours. That means an active hospital wing or a busy corporate hub doesn't have to shut down for days of messy prep work. You verify the moisture, maybe apply an optional fixative, let the mobile unit print in a single pass, check the edges, and boom, you're done. No toxic fumes to worry about, no curing periods. You can open it right up to foot traffic instantly.
And when you're scaling up to a national rollout, using a mobile printing team basically halves your timeline, all while guaranteeing zero color variance. Think about a 15-location rollout. With shipped vinyl and regional installers, you're looking at 8 to 10 weeks of overlapping schedules and headaches. With direct-to-wall, you execute identically across all 15 locations in just 4 to 5 weeks.
So here is an expert action step for you. Map out your installation windows, utilize staggered scheduling, and coordinate your utilities 48 hours in advance. Taking control of your scheduling consistency across 50 or 100 locations is exactly how you achieve truly frictionless execution. You own the timeline, you guarantee the pigment matches perfectly site to site, and you totally eliminate the wild card of regional labor variations.
Let's pivot to Section 4, the ROI of sustainability.
You might be wondering how this efficiency translates to the environment.
Well, direct-to-wall printing cuts material waste by up to 78% over a 5-year cycle. 78%. Think about traditional vinyl for a second. It generates plastic waste the literal second it's peeled from the backing, and even more when it's eventually ripped off the wall. This new tech, zero adhesive waste and absolutely zero chemical stripping required when you want to change it.
And let's look at how that impacts the budget. Once you factor in removal labor, the cost of chemical stripping, and material storage, direct-to-wall operations are actually 40 to 50% less costly over that same 5-year window. The long-term financial burden of legacy coverings is just incredibly steep when you compare to this level of streamlined efficiency.
Basically, you're trading constant shipping delays and toxic chemical strippers for on-site efficiency and zero failed materials. You aren't shipping giant, heavy rolls of vinyl across the country anymore. The pigments are mixed right there on-site. For corporate procurement teams under pressure to hit real environmental responsibility targets, this sustainability advantage is just a massive win.
Which brings us to our final section, Section 5, Future-Proofing Commercial Spaces. Look, we have to face the reality of the commercial space industry. Brands evolve fast, and tenants are always changing. True future-proofing means installing assets that can effortlessly adapt. Whether you're dealing with lease space turnover, refreshing seasonal retail messaging, restructuring hospital wayfinding, or rotating a campus exhibition, you need walls that can keep up with the pace of your organization. You definitely don't want to trigger a massive construction project every time you update a logo.
This is where direct-to-wall offers the ultimate flexibility. It is totally paint-over ready. When you need a change, you simply paint right over the existing graphic with a standard commercial primer and you print something new right away. No scraping, no sanding, no damaged drywall. The underlying architecture remains completely untouched.
And don't let that paint-over capability fool you into thinking it's fragile. The finish is actually engineered to survive daily cleaning with commercial disinfectants, scuffing from hand contact, and sustained humidity without any degradation. It handles the daily abuse of highly trafficked corridors effortlessly. Your investment just works harder and it lasts longer.
So as an industry leader, I'm going to leave you with this final thought. Are your current wall graphics appealing maintenance liability, or are they a scalable, sustainable asset? It might be time to stop budgeting for yesterday's headaches and start printing the future of your commercial spaces. Thanks so much for joining us for this explainer, and we will catch you next time.